when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Good evening, everyone. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to 105.3 FM out of New Orleans. Out of Mississippi. I'm trying to do two things at once here. And 107 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans. And this is on UFO Paranormal United Public Radio Network. This is The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. I'm one of your hosts, Lorilei Potvin. The other host and friend next to me is David Hanzel. But give me one sec, guys. Never fails. If I hit one button wrong, I can't get it done before. We're just starting TikTok, so give me one sec. And obviously can't do two things at once here, even though I'm trying to. Hang on. Let's see. Hopefully it's going to work. Cross your fingers, everyone. We'll see. Hang on. And yep, I just got one more thing to do with this, and then hopefully it'll behave itself. Like I said, hi, see you there, Kelly. Hi, first one here. Good to see you. If you like what you see, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. But let's start at our usual housekeeping I do, and then I pass it over to Dave. So, like I said, I'm Lorilei Potvin. I'm a Canadian psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor. I'm a registered nurse. I'm also... what else am I? An animal communicator. I'm well versed in near-death experiences, having had one as a toddler myself and studied them professionally and personally for over 40 years, as well as I'm extremely well versed in the paranormal. I always say I didn't go looking for it, it found me. We have shared some of our story from our previous home. Mind you, once you find the paranormal, it always seems to find you. Thank you, Michelle Wilfong. I'm going to give you a shout out in just a sec. And we shared our story on the Travel Channel's Paranormal Survivor, Season 4, Episode 9. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on, I think, Netflix, a whole bunch of places. If you look up, I didn't name it, but it's called Demonic Hauntings. You can find the episode for free all over the place. Like I said, if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family. There really is something for everybody here. It's not just all UFO-y and paranormal type stuff. I think we're almost up to 40 hosts on the network. Live now, and we have multiple shows daily. We stream 7 days a week live, like I said, and when we're not streaming live, the archive server kicks in and randomly pick shows from the past 25 plus years this network has been around. And so we really are live 24/7. So what else do I want to tell you guys? If you can watch us on TV. The network has its own TV channel. Many of the shows do stream over there. It's on Roku. So if you want to find it, I don't have a channel code for you, but how you can find it, you're going to go to the channel store, look for the search button, type in UFO space P as in paranormal, and there's a drop-down list. We're about the third or fourth one down. You can click on that. That's how you can watch us. And I believe somehow too, I haven't done it yet myself, but I believe you can also use Alexa and somehow see us over there too. So that's many ways to do it. Now, I always say, if you can't see us, you can't join in the fun and the commenting like Kelly and Michelle Wilfong, who are here already, can. So how you can do this, because this network does broadcast to every country in the world, but 80% of our audience is audio only. So I'm going to give you a bunch of different places where you can go to join us. So my Facebook profile, which is Lorilei Potvin, we're on the Angel Rock, and I think it's also under my name, Lorilei Potvin, on LinkedIn. My YouTube channel, which is Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. We are on the network's now main channel, which is UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials. We do have a secondary channel. We're not on that tonight, but it is called International Public Radio. We're on the network's Twitch channel, which is UFO Paranormal United Public Radio Network. We are on Instagram. I may as well check that as I'm talking. Okay, under the Angel Rock. Sometimes that kicks out after an hour. You never know if it's going to or not. So if you're in the middle and you're watching, you're going, hey, where did everybody go? It just means Instagram cut us off, because sometimes it does. They also don't put the comments in here with the main chat, or neither does TikTok. So I'm going to be jumping around to all three sites tonight to try and include you in the conversation. Because if you joined this show or my second show I do on Monday nights that I host myself and have the guests on, it's the Angel Rock Monday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And one of our wonderful audience members who really, really supports the show, as many of you do, and you support many of the shows on the network, Julie Jean Bassett will be on Monday night. So I hope you guys will join us there. Last week I had on Tom Dongo, and you guys were going crazy about him. You wouldn't believe the things we talked about. If you guys weren't there live, you got to check it out. You can find any of the episodes from the shows on any talk shows or places where podcasts are carried. I also back up the show on my own YouTube channel, so you can find on the Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. Where else are we? My Mystique 1508 Rumble channel. As I always joke, it's not a stripper name. It's actually an old channel name, and it's taken from X-Men. And we are on David's Facebook profile, which is David Hanzel Medium, right?
Medium David Hanzel, yeah.
Okay, I always get that screwed up. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I do too half the time.
In his YouTube channel, which is the Spirit Experience. And we are on TikTok under the Angel Rock. So I want to give Michelle Wilfong a huge shout out. She's one of my mods over there, and she does such a great job. She sends all kinds of little goodies too. She doesn't have to, but she does. She sends roses and things and tries to get people involved. And I see that she comments over there. But you guys also do her a huge favor. Check out her own TikTok channel. She lives in a haunted apartment, and she posts a lot of the activity on her channel, so check it out. Did I remember everything? I think I did. Go ahead, Dave, take it away.
I think you got everything. Now that you said everything, I probably forgot everything. Hi guys, my name is David Hanzel. I am a spiritual medium. I am a channel. I am an animal communicator. I am a near-death survivor back in 2015. I also been studying them since. Lorilei got about 30 years on me. That's it for that part about me. Please make sure too that we have a Facebook page. I'm all over the place tonight too. We do have a Facebook page, and it's called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel. If you are listening to us, and sometimes we will show videos on here, and we'll discuss them and talk about them because they're fun. Know that Lorilei is kind enough to post them into the group afterwards.
I think I forgot last week. I think I did. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. We forget. But even if she did forget, you know what? There's so much in that group to go look at. Eventually, soon, we're getting a lot of members now. And we will be doing some lives in there shortly when we got a chance here. Also, we were informed that twice we had got the thing at the foot of the bed at the same time. Did you see that?
What's that?
We had set it together at the same time. You see, for those of you who are just listening right now, Lorilei's in Canada and I'm in the States. And for some reason, we have a lag that goes between us. We are very aware of it. So sometimes it sounds like we're talking over each other. We're not. We're not being rude to each other. We are well aware of what's happening. So don't worry about it. Sometimes at the end of the show, we like to say, what's at the foot of your bed? And we've been trying to say it together for like almost 2 years now.
It's been over 2 years. We've been
over 2 years because it's hard for us to tell with the lag. But somebody had said we did it a couple times, the last couple. And it's funny. We can't tell. I can't remember why we said. At some point, what we'll do is we'll each pick a name. I think, was that what it was? Once we get it, we'll each pick a name and do a reading for them or something.
Yeah, we did say that. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we said that 2 years ago.
I haven't gotten back to readings yet. You guys, I thought it was better yesterday. I felt great. And then today, this thing, 9 weeks, whatever that it is, I'm telling you. Oh.
And you know what? For those of you listening, if you're asking, Lorilei and I, and a lot of people feel this way, those of us who do readings or those of us who, especially mediumship readings the most, we try to do it when we feel our best.
No, I always do.
It's a lot easier if we don't take cold medicine and do our readings, or we don't, we got to be us. So sometimes, like Lorilei said, we will take a break and say, I'm just not going to give you the most accurate reading because of the physical things going on.
Well, I also think with everything being energy, if you're not 100%, I'm not going to send you something viral like what I have, but exactly. I send you some lower type energy if I'm doing healing work and stuff. So, and plus it drains us too when we're not.
Oh, it does. Yeah. And I know, Lorilei, I think you use the same thing. my physical body is used quite a bit in my mediumship reading. So like when people are describing or telling me how they left, they will give me some of the pains or symptoms. And if I'm sick, I have to ask myself, wait, is that my symptom or your symptom? And then
No, I get that with energy healing, especially
energy
not
healing.
100%. And sometimes I talk to people all day long. Today I didn't, trying to save my voice, but I know there have been people before, especially when I was newer at this, say about 10 years ago. And I remember one person in particular I was talking to, they were having a really difficult time. Everything was not going well in their life, and they were in so much pain and they weren't getting help. And I ended up feeling their pain, and I just could not. It was neuropathy, which is nerve pain.
Yeah.
It was so horrible. Luckily, and I'm not saying I'm curing anybody, but what we did was able to give them some relief. But I picked that up. I'm one of those people too. I think most of us are some paths when you're out. And it's one of the things we learn is to ask, is this mine? And trust. If we hear yes or no, we hear no, we just say return to sender. I usually return it with love, because if somebody's having pain or whatever, they're probably going to need some love sent with that as well.
Lorilei brought up a good point. Just for a side note, for anybody out there who is an empath or been told they're an empath or something, always ask yourself when something happens, is this mine or is this theirs? And like Lorilei said, one thing you can do is if you go, well, I felt fine a minute ago, so this must be theirs, so I'm just going to return it back because there's nothing I can do with it.
I just asked within the mind space, is this mine? And I trust whatever I receive, yes or no. I pretty well know if I haven't had it before. Yeah. I've started something, whether it's a psychic reading or it's energy healing, and I know if I hear no, most times it's a no, or I'm out and all of a sudden I start feeling really weird, or I'm picking up, like I'll pick up anxiety off people, as most of us do when we're sensitive.
Yeah, I do that body scan a lot of times when I'm walking into places, and I just ask myself, how are you feeling right now? Where's all your stuff? Because if I get anything outside of that, I know it's not mine, and then I don't have to freak out.
I was just going to add, when Judy's here, Judy Thompson, she said, same for me when I do a reflexology treatment, I have to be my best. Should we say hi to everybody? Let's
go right ahead and say hi to everybody. And I agree with you. Reflexology, anything like that, we got to be at our best.
Oh, Michelle says you nailed it last week. I guess with us hitting it right on. So I guess we did. So, well, let's say hi. Let's get started there. You guys got lots of spooky videos too. I found some really creepy ones actually. Yeah. So I was thinking, like, do we talk about human hybrids or something? And sorry guys, my energy is not at 100% today. I'm sorry. Like I said, I think I did too much yesterday, and I should know better, because every time I started to feel better with this stupid thing over the last 9 weeks, it sends me right back to being sick. So Kelly's here though. She says hi everyone. Michelle Wilfong heading over to TikTok. So thank you, Michelle, for everything you do as my mod over there. We got Connie Martin. She says hello, and Big Thompson says hello. Stone Hobbit, hi, welcome. They say they're giving us the aliens and some kisses, and looks like a ghost emoji. We got Jackie Lane here saying hello. And Stone Hobbit, yep, you know what's yours. And Lisa Martinello's here. Hi, Lisa. And Stone Hobbit, solar energy is hitting all. Well, I didn't even know this. There's some guy that shows up on my YouTube all the time on commercials. And I don't know what he follows. I believe it's probably a spiritual path. He is, I would believe, probably of a Caucasian persuade. Not that it matters, but the clothing he's wearing makes me think more along the lines of possibly some part of maybe Hinduism, Islam, whatever it is. But my whole point of that, he says, yes, with the upcoming eclipse and full moon. I haven't heard anything about that. Have you, Dave?
I did a little bit, but I mean, we talked about this before. I'm not just saying it because this stuff does affect people, but I try, after all these years, I try not to set myself up for it. You know what I'm saying?
What I found out, I just noticed this now. Did you guys know this? That if you're a Skype user, and once upon a time ago, that's how we used to connect on the network when Joe used to produce this all the time. Skype is being deleted in the next month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, I didn't know that. I guess
it's going to be called. It's Teams. Is that it? Yeah, it's going to be called Teams. I know that, which sucks because I got to go on my website and I got to start replace the word Skype with Teams or something.
I don't think Teams is free, or they were saying something. The article that was in the news, somebody had sent me. actually Alfred Labramont Weber. He's in Canada. He's a lawyer here. He was the one that sent it to me because I hadn't heard anything. And I think they'll kind of grandfather you in if you sign up to Teams now. Don't take my word for it, but this is what the way I understood it. But I don't think it's free. That's why people were.
There's I heard a couple different things. I did. In one, I knew they were taking rid of it, and somebody said they were going back to the free because Skype was starting to charge for the. I don't know what they're talking about.
I use Skype. A lot of radio programs still use Skype when you go on their podcasts. Like I've been on quite a few that do.
Yeah, because I think that's what there's so many podcasters now. Podcasters are now a dime a dozen. There's I know if you can't see it, we're both kind of rolling our eyes a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad thing. It's just some are,
It's just some people. What it is, and I'm not bashing anybody, but some people just aren't meant to do a podcast. That's not where their strengths lie. And this is the thing now. Everybody, we're not famous. I don't mean you or I, but we've been doing it a long time, you and I. And now I notice people that are, say, more famous or whatever it is, immediately now they've got a podcast, podcast.
Oh yeah, if they're famous, they got a podcast. Like, dude, you're already famous. You're already good. Just go do something else.
Yeah, but some people just aren't conversational.
They're not even good at it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. I remember when Blossom got her podcast.
She had an interesting podcast.
It got interesting. I agree with you because when I first started listening to it, because she's the woman is smart. She is an extremely smart
in neuroscience. Yeah,
but now she started delving into. Now she's bringing out like paranormal stuff and talking to mediums and spiritual people and all that. Where before she was like bashing it for a little while, but she changed it. So I like people who change their mind on stuff. Because you never know.
All I'm going to say to that is sometimes you have to kind of move your audience to where their interest lies. Because I've seen quite a few podcasters that have been around for a while that have done a complete 180. But hey, if you're doing this, you're doing it because you've got something to share with the world. And if nobody's watching, and if that's your bread and butter, like we don't get paid for what we do, but there are people that do. So you got to go where your audience wants it.
Yeah, exactly. And they do get paid because right off the bat, the one thing they have differently, and I'm glad that they do, but their sponsorship, because they're famous, automatically they're getting paid for their podcasts at some point.
Well, not always. Sometimes a lot of these bigger podcasters are signed with an agency, like a really, really big agency. Yeah. So Stone Hobbit says, I still was using ICQ. I remember that. I had my message thing. It used to give you, for those of you that aren't old enough, ICQ was one of the first messaging apps out there. And I remember it always had this, I forget what it was. It was like the squeak or something. And somehow I figured out how to change it back in the day. That's how old it was. When Austin Powers came out, so mine would always say, yeah, baby.
I have never heard of that one. But you know what? I was
never heard of ICQ.
No, I was late to the internet game when I was, it wasn't until I was, I think, about 20 years old, 21, where our neighbors upstairs, the girls they had a computer and it was dial up, back then.
Yeah, we had that.
So I got to hear all those noises, that we laugh about, us Gen Xers. But I didn't even buy a computer until I think it was about 2000. It was like the late 2005, 6, something like that. I didn't even have a computer, even have a Yahoo email. It was right before I moved here, which was about, I think, 2008. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't until about 2008 I didn't start using a computer.
Well, the rest of it, Stone Hobbit's comment is that, like he said, I still was using ICQ before Facebook. I had Facebook when it came out. I had a friend that told me about it because we used to talk. We'd met each other in MySpace, and he goes, yeah, I'm over on this new platform now. So I was actually on Facebook when it was just one page. That's all it was. It was nothing compared to what it is now. He says, then Skype, mostly, a lot are moving to Discord. You're right about that. Discord's an interesting place to chat and stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. It's private.
I think I was on it for a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I follow quite a few people on Discord over there, and it's a fun place to go if you find a channel basically that you sign up to, and you have to be invited. That's the only thing, right? It's not a big deal.
Or
Just somebody that
Discord.
knows you gives you the code.
Contessa says right now it's all about people and tarot cards. What is Discord is?
I haven't seen that, Connie. I haven't.
Yeah.
There's been a few. Okay, so the rest of her comment, Connie says, right now it's all about people and tarot cards and mediums. The Hollywood stars walk around with tarot cards and crystals in their bags. I have not seen that. Crystals maybe, but not tarot cards, because I still, if I'm at a party, I don't tell people what I do. I kind of feel it out, and kind of like there's many people I've talked to that have no clue what I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have to pay to be on Discord? Actually, I think I went on Discord a long time ago and I accidentally invited like tons of people, and people kept saying, "Is this fake? Is this fake? Is this fake?" And I couldn't.
Because it's pretty hard unless you own the channel to be able to invite. Like you have to send them a QR kind code. Because
that's what I mean. I sent it and I put it in my messenger on accident. This is months back, probably about like 6-7 months ago, and I didn't know, but I put a bunch in. And
okay,
I have a
I don't know how
Discord.
you did that, because I was Sean Atwood's Discord, and what they do is if you're not active after a week, which I haven't been with what's gone on, they clean it out. And so Stone Hobbit is exactly saying I like the invites part as it's a vetting. I agree. And then he said, no, it is free. Yeah, it's absolutely free.
Okay.
And the code only lasts for, I think it's 15 minutes, and then it expires. Because I was going to invite some people to Sean Atwood's group, and I spent a couple hours trying to find out. And from what I've seen, and somebody can correct me in the chat if you know differently, but it's the person that owns the channel that sends the invite out. Yeah. So unless I'm wrong about that, but
that's okay. Yeah, I'm trying to play with different ones. They're fun to play with, but sometimes I love Substack. I am having the best time but Substack is because I'm under literature and philosophy in Substack, because I don't talk as much about.
I've been on Substack for a long time. I don't use it that much, but
I don't talk on Substack. It's more geared towards the near-death experiences and the philosophy of stuff and on all that. I don't really do.
I've seen lots. Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff you can do.
So he said, yeah, I'm right with Discord, because I know I tried to find an invite for somebody in particular to invite there, because they were very interested. I even took a screenshot because they will put the invite link, or they'll send out an invite link, say when it was on Sean Atwood's channel. And by the time I sent it to him, it was expired, and I sent it like 20 minutes after. So I do like that. And the private chat group. So I've seen people do all kinds of stuff in there.
I'll have to play on that again. The one I don't go on, and people always ask me, is WhatsApp. Here's the reason
I won't go on there.
Okay,
the reason why is, and I'm sorry, I know it's very popular over in the East and in Europe. First of all, you got to give people your phone number. Second of all, I'm not a computer expert, but tech is a hobby of mine, and it's pretty notorious for a lot of scamming, a lot of phishing, a lot of viruses and things. So I just don't use it. I have it, and I only have a few people on there, but I don't use it.
Every one of my impersonators, every one of them always tells them to impersonate me and tell them to meet on WhatsApp.
Now you know where they're from then.
Yeah, I do. And I think it was our friend oh my gosh, why did her name escape me all of a sudden? Medium on our channel.
Julie?
No, on their channel. You just did the thing with her. Why can't her name just went right out of my head? You guys did the show in Canada together. A Paracon just not long ago.
Oh, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn.
Thank you, Carrie Lynn. I had Shellhorn. I couldn't remember the first name. Carrie Lynn. Carrie Lynn had told me to block certain people, certain groups on Facebook, and when I did, half of my imposters were gone.
So Stone Hobbit, I was going to mention this. He goes, I was going to mention it. We kind of got off the chat, but you're right. He goes, we have watch parties in there. Yeah, you can. And we can watch and discuss at the same time. It works for what I need. Well, feel free to share the name, Stone Hobbit. Well, I guess you can't. You have to put your invite link. But if you want to, towards the end of the show, so people can go, because we don't want them to run away from us, but you're welcome to share the link so that people, if that's a sort of thing you do, it would be, you're more than welcome, because the more the merrier. But watch parties, yes, that's lots of fun. So I was looking for some stuff to talk about tonight. Like I said, I had Tom Dongo on, and I have to give Julie Jean Bassett a huge shout out. She had met him. He lives in Sedona. He's just turned, I think he said 80. This guy knows more. He does remote viewing, but he does not do remote viewing like most people. He's taught it. I was really trying to get him to teach us how to do it. So he did some of the teaching a little bit in the show Monday night. He's been on his second time. Then we talked about black-eyed kids. We talked about dogmen. We talked about hauntings. We went ufology. He let us know. He said he couldn't tell us his source because he knows quite a few people high up in the government, like in that area. He said, now we'll see what happens. I'm just sharing what he thought. And he said, I can't confirm it. It's a rumor, but apparently disclosure may be happening very soon, and not from the government, from the off-worlders making their presence known. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I agree with him. We were getting the same thing. We talked, not you and me, but we were talking to some other people who are interested in the whole alien aspect. And we were saying that, and your friend is right. They're not waiting for the government. They're saying, screw that. We're just gonna. That's
what Tom said. Like Connie said, such a great guy and a great show on Monday night. Thank you. Well, he's coming back on. I need to send him the link to book again, because I think I'm booking into June-ish, July-ish. But he's coming back on because and the first time I met him, and Julie had told him about me and introduced us, and she had just got to know him from going to a conference or something in Sedona. And so I talked to him. I remember it was in June or July last year. And so I called him, and he goes, well, I don't really do podcasts anymore and whatever. Thank God he had company in from out of town that had just arrived. Him and I would have been on the phone for, oh my God, hours, like hours. I could do a show with him every week, and we still would have so much to talk about. That's how interesting he is. Lisa says, supposed to be something happening March 22nd. I have no clue what it is. So interesting. I don't know. I haven't been on conspiracy channels. I haven't been on anything. I have been watching, you know what I'm addicted to right now? Of course, my little mini verse with the resin. I've talked about this many times, and they have a Harry Potter Honeydukes line. Oh my goodness, you guys. Holy crap. Like the candy's all tiny. They put little molds in there. And there's a lady I follow. I'm going to give her a shout out on YouTube because she's so creative. Her name is Resin Bell. And so my little cart she had made a pattern to make the actual Honeydukes cart with the door and everything. I made that. But then Miniverse came out with one. It came today. And I was just watching her. She's even created stuff from the boxes, like little tables, and that's what I've been doing. So Stone Hobbit says, thank you for the invite to do. And yes, would love to have you both on board. We'll send privately at this point. Oh, absolutely. Kelly says, oh, how cute. Oh my goodness, Kelly, I am telling you, like we're talking, the boxes are actually like from the movie. Birdie Bots every bean, flavor of beans, and they have a mold. So you make all these little tiny jelly beans. They have, the little sugar skulls. They have fizzing with everything you can think of. And they come in the boxes or the packaging. They're called cauldron cakes. They're like cupcakes. Because it's kind of spooky themed sort of stuff. The little cauldrons are like barely the size, the end of my finger, to put the little tiny cupcakes in. And then you put a handle in to make them look like cauldrons. I'm not kidding. Like these people have thought of everything, this toy company, I'm telling you. Except I've never seen kids buy it. It's always adults. So, yeah. I don't know why they put it in the toy department, because you look like a weirdo going to the toy department.
I think they're having a harder time nowadays with inventing mysterious and scary stuff for kids nowadays, because they can come out with these movies and it's never kids who watch them anymore. It's always adults. It's like they can't get their imagination going or something. I was noticing, just talk about stuff like that. You in the States here, they're doing some, and I like Harry Potter. Now, I didn't watch every one of the movies, and I never read the books, but the movies I watched, I really liked them. I thought they were
Never
fun.
read the books. I just found an audio
I
link.
didn't want to ruin the movies.
I know, yeah, but the movies miss. Like I read the books when they came out. Like I was still married to my first husband. We used to take the kids at the time to our local big bookstore here, and we'd go to the Harry Potter launch parties, like for when the books would come out. And then we wouldn't fight about it. Usually my husband at the time would let me read them. But like as they got into the series, the books got longer and longer and longer. Like, and that's why I don't have the time to read, because if I got a good book, count me out for 3 days. I won't even stop to eat. Like I literally will keep reading. But once I started re-listening to the books, I kept going, holy crap, they left so much out of the movie. And I know they always do that,
but now what I was getting at is, like, here they're making these Harry Potter lands, like the elevator scene and all that, where you literally are riding that elevator and it's going different ways, and that Umbridge character going to court. I mean, they're literally doing this really cool stuff, which I find is really quite it's quite interesting how good it seems they're capturing it. I'm not much for.
I have Ollivander's wand shop I have to put together. I haven't got it yet. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they even have an Ollivander's wand shop where you go pick out a wand. Stone Hobbit said kids come up with scarier stuff than adults. Listen, you know what, Stone Hobbit, I have a theory. Because see, there's people like Lorilei and I, even though stuff can be scary to us, for the most part, it seems like it's part of our natural world to have it. And it seems like when kids get hold of it, they're not satisfied with that. They try to make it scary instead of like just letting it be what it is. And I agree with you. Kids come up with a lot scarier stuff.
But kids use their imaginations too.
They're getting numb. They're getting numb to something.
Well, not every child. I don't think we can paint them.
No, not all childs. I'm talking about not children in things. I'm talking about like 20 somethings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they seem to be trying to create scarier stuff. When, you know what, stuff scary is scary all on its own. I still find the Frankenstein stuff, if you just read like her books, my God, that woman, she's good. I mean, that's some good stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And Tessa said, I have read them and listened to audiobooks as I do my housework. Love Harry Potter.
That's what I do. Like, I have to be doing two things at once. So I'm either listening to a podcast, because I'm always, especially right now, I'm just doing stuff that's going to hold my interest and bring me joy. I haven't even poured really any big resin pieces as of late. Like normally I do that every day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have gone from, I used to read so many years ago, like when years ago, I used to everything paranormal. I read everything paranormal, everything that come along. But for the past couple of years, I am so hooked on the metaphysical. That's all I do is read metaphysical books now. I don't know why. It's just, you know how we go in and out of those things, like, okay, I've got to know all about this. And then now this week I got to know all about this. And this week I got to know. So I am a big metaphysical reader.
Well, like Stone Hobbit said, psychological, paranormal, anything that abilities align. Well, I kind of look at it all, but I also follow other stuff because, I'm on lots of different podcasts. A lot of times I don't tell you what we're going to talk about. And I think we can learn from things that we see that are out there. Like I've really been following this Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds case, because to me, and I'm not trying to get all political or anything, all I'll mention is it's becoming very apparent. And I think I like this, that the narrative is shifting, that somebody's been painted with a brush, I think wrongly accused, and the truth is coming out. And I'm liking that. It seems like the public is kind of waking up to that.
I heard those names. What is that one?
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And they did a movie called It Starts With Us, and it starred a virtually unknown actor, and he actually bought the rights to this book. It Ends With Us. The second book is called It Starts With Us. It covers a very serious topic. We can't say that word on here, but domestic abuse.
Yeah.
And instead, Blake Lively, and you get into it, and it's quite the story. You can do a whole show on it, but basically, Justin Baldoni, he was a producer and everything else, and he was put in the basement with his family for his first movie he ever directed. And Blake Lively released her alcohol line and her hair care line during this, and told the catchline was, wear your florals, bring all your girlfriends, and come to a romantic rom-com. That movie was not a romantic rom-com. And then she put out charges after the movie was done, after her hair care line failed, after the booze failed, that all of a sudden that he SH'd her, harassed her. We'll put with the X in front of it. And it's become very apparent, without being judgmental, open-minded. There's been some really dirty tactics that probably would have worked about 10 years, maybe 5 years, 6 years ago. And we're finding out that Justin Baldoni did not do the things he was accused of. And a lot of stuff is coming up. And I like that. No, I don't like that happening to anybody. But if you're going to use your power, influence, and money as big Hollywood stars, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and do that to somebody that doesn't have a lot of money and is just starting out, it's kind of nice to see that what's important is the truth.
It is. I am so out of the loop. Even singers that are coming up that people are talking about, I'm like, oh, this is a new singer. They're like, no, they've been around for like 10 years. I'm like, what? Where am I? I was like, where did I? But you know what? I don't listen to the radio anymore. I don't think I've listened to the radio in probably 3 years. I mean, I listen to my stuff, my own stuff. I don't listen to it. So I don't know who the radio is.
Well, I don't listen unless I'm driving, which isn't very often. Right now, I love Chapel Roan.
See, that's another one. I heard about Chapel Roan, and I do. Okay, that's one of the ones I was going to say. I'm glad you like her because am I a teeny bopper? But I love her. I don't know a lot about her, but I listened to a couple stuff, and I know her story. And I was like, oh, this chick, good for her. Good for her. She kicked butt and she took names to get where she is. And I thought she was like brand new. It's like, no, she's been around.
She's been around. Same thing though. I love Hailstorm. I love the only music genre I don't care for, and I'm sorry, I know it's very popular, is country.
I don't care.
Whom her name is Chapel, Chapell Roan. Roan. And when if you hear her music, you're going to go, oh yeah, I've been hearing that. Yeah, I just didn't know who it was, kind of thing. She's everywhere right now. Yeah. And then in Hobbit, you say, when you see it, then re-see it on other cases. Yes, exactly. And the thing is, right, and I love this because I think it's heading towards where the world is shifting, and it's not all going to happen at once. Like we're talking about the off-worlders coming and making their presence known, we shall see. But also that people are kind of almost coming together, not everywhere, but in places coming together, and you know what, saying, hey, just standing back and saying, kind of let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm in complete observer mode. Oh, I'm going to tell you another singer I love a lot. You guys all know her song, but I dove into it a little bit more. I'm really connected to Europe. I have just like a soul connection to Europe for some reason. And Lola Young, I love Lola Young. I love her. I think she is, she sings messy. Yeah, I love her too. I love these young people that are coming out who are just, they're just not falling for the crap nowadays. It seems like that's why I like Chapel Roan and all that. These young women are just really, they are taking names and kicking butt. And I hope
Stone Hobbit of all songs for you. That's not the one. That's not the one I would recommend first. There's a couple like Pink Ponies and stuff like that. Like there's different stuff. It's just kind of poppier type music.
Yeah, it's just kind of poppy, but they're cool people. It seems. I mean, I don't know them, and they might be terrible people outside of what we see, but I don't know. But I like what they're doing as far as that.
I like though what you're saying, Connie. Yes, I don't understand why Blake Lively, started this, knowing that nowadays you can't lie about stuff like this because there's text and voice conversations recorded and there's video.
I know. I'm glad I grew up in the 80s because I did some really weird stuff and it's nowhere to be found. I love that.
You know of.
That I know of, yeah. But I will tell you, listen, all you kids, and this is like Lorilei and I, it's really difficult for us. Like we love we're going to show you some scary videos in a second, but I love looking at the scary videos and all that, but sometimes I get so cynical with some of them because I'll see so many fake ones. And then you get that really good one. You're like, okay, this one's really real. And then you got to look at it again going, but that's why a lot like both of us, we always say we love the really old ones because they were a lot harder to fake. And AI has gotten so good nowadays. But, you know,
Yes, there we go. Sorry. What have we got here? What? This has got to be, sorry, this has got to be an ad. I'm pulling it up for you. This one's up. Okay, so you said to Dave ahead of time. Oh, wait, I wanted to go back to Kelly's comment before we start. Kelly, you had said something about, I had it up there, my daughter couldn't sleep in the other room the other night. She said someone was watching her in the closet. I wouldn't say haha, because I went through that with my children, especially my
eldest. As an adult, yeah.
And I can tell you that nobody slept in my previous home in my son's bedroom, and he's now going to be 30 this year. We're not in that house anymore, but and I had scary stuff happen to him. You know, parents check on their kids at nighttime. I can't tell you how many times, and we had him on one of those high up beds with a desk underneath. He'd be laying on his back, and he had actually vomited in his sleep on his back. And being a nurse, I don't know how he didn't choke, and he wouldn't even know it happened. And he kept saying there's something in my closet. Even when my youngest was alive as a little guy, and he wasn't very verbal, he would be able to tell me red eyes in my closet in that house. So I'm going to tell you, trust what your child is telling you. Obviously, that's not the time to have it when they're at bedtime, but I would have a conversation with them and find out. I was just going to say, find out what's going on. What are they seeing? Maybe there's a pattern or something. And it could, I don't believe that when children say stuff like that, unless they're one of those kids that won't go to bed at night and have found that excuse works. But most kids, if they're telling you something, find out about it. Even if it's the so-called, I hate the term imaginary friends. You're going to see some of the videos if we get to them tonight about children. I do not believe. I think pets and children can see spirit.
Oh, they do it. And like, yeah, I agree with Lorilei. Another thing too is ask your children, kind of question them nicely and ask them exactly, because there are times, because Lorilei has said this on the show before, and I'm in agreement. Our loved ones aren't, the last thing they want to do is scare us if they're going to make themselves known. But every once in a while, a child may get scared for that. So that's why you want to question them and ask them what's going on. Because if all you know, they could be describing, you could go, oh, that's my great grandpa. He's not trying to scare you. He's trying to protect you, maybe. But
I saw a video of this family, and it doesn't matter what race they are, but it kind of does, because it's funny by the way it was said. But it's a little one about 3 or 4 years old, is African-American family. And the little one comes in, and it looks like maybe grandma there, and a relative is filming it. And there's a big wall of pictures behind grandma. It looks like a grandma to me. Mm-hmm. And she walks in and she goes, that's a man that comes in my bedroom every night. And they're all looking at each other, go, what man? And she walks right up to the picture and she points to it. And then you hear, he did, behind the camera. That's why I said I had to point out what it was. Yeah. And you get the context of the video. That indeed, who she was pointing to would have been her, I think her grandfather. He had died 12 years before this little one was born. Now, how did she know? Like we don't have the context. That's the way we've got to take these videos, right? There's something unusual happening here. Like, could she have seen pictures before? Maybe, whatever. But just the fact of the way it was filmed and what was there, this little one just walked in very matter-of-factly, and nobody knew what the heck she was talking about. And then they find out that she's actually talking about her grandfather that she never met.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many readings I've done where people said, hey, they're little, I remember this one distinctly, and this spirit was good. I mean, he was good. But she was saying that her little daughter, she's like 3 years old, and she's seeing this. She said she was worried about it. And she goes, can you find out and see who he's seeing? And I'm like, well, I guess, So I went and I looked, and dude gave him his description and his name. And it happened to be her grandfather who was seeing her. And that's all it was. Yeah.
A lot of grandparents. One of the videos, I don't know if we'll get to it tonight or not. It involved a grandparent that has passed away, and younger the child, usually I find, the more that they really see these things. Oh yeah. Stone Hobbit, I think you made a really good point. And I forgot to mention this. So for Kelly or anybody else that's listening who has young children that are experiencing this is so powerful and so important. And having worked with kids my whole life, including as a nurse, get them to draw what they're seeing. Even if they're not really capable of drawing, if you can help them draw it, they just are able to describe it or however. But drawing is a really good way for children to show you what they're seeing, even if they might not have the words or whatever. You'll get the emotion behind the colors they pick and what they draw.
That's a good point you made there. Pay attention to not exactly if it looks like a scribble monster, but look like what colors they use, what, stuff like that.
So Kelly said we had her draw a picture of the person she saw at my aunt's, and now they're scared. The aunts are scared, or the children? I'm guessing you're meaning the aunts are afraid. Doesn't always mean something paranormal is negative. Like I can tell you, my son has, like last week when we were on, we told you before we went live, my door handle was jiggling and I thought maybe it was one of the cats, the cat hitting the door or something. Nobody was out there. But while we were live, I said, oh yeah, I think a joke said, yeah, my kid's messaging me while we're live. Well, I found out afterwards. He had strange stuff going on all day at their house, but something unusual having to do with my son's.
And that's something, and it is something Justin would do because he's just crazy.
Well, he's not crazy.
No, I mean crazy in a fun way. He's
no,
like
but the energy was stirred up, and without getting into the specifics, had to do with family relatives that aren't really involved with us anymore. But I could see why the energy was kind of stirred up. Plus, yes, he's letting us know he's around here. And
that's what I mean. I think he was one of those, he would want to. I mean, he used to whenever we finish an episode, it was the most adorable thing. We would get done with the episode and he'd knock on the door, and then Lorilei would tell him, oh yeah, we're done. And he would come in and say hi, and he'd tell me about a game once in a while. We're talking about a cat. He's just nicest kid.
Yeah, we miss him. His birthday's coming March 4th. I'm getting my tattoo finished tomorrow. So once that colors are all done, I'm getting my memorial tattoo. So Stone Hobbit, you're very right about this too. Watch the body language, whether it's describing or drawing, you become a detective. Yes, you do. Because you just also added, which I thought was important. You said, I'm one of those paranormal magnets. To every house we lived, there was something going on, and the kids saw stuff. We ended up logging everything. But you know what? Most of us that are in this field, I have found, we have had, can't tell you the amount of people, either on air or off air, I've asked them if they're in the paranormal, why are you in the paranormal field? Most people have said to me, and I haven't talked to every person in the world, but something happened in their childhood that was monumental to them in that moment, and they needed to know more. What happened? What did I see? What did I experience? Or why was this happening?
No. It's true. It's
true. You're right, Stone Hobbit. Said this is your kid's safety, and Kelly wants to let you know. Thanks, Stone Hobbit. I'm going to ask her to draw after the show. Awesome, Kelly. So this video I talked to Dave about, and I said to him, Dave, I said, we got to take this for what it is. You guys are open to your opinions, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, every one of the paranormal videos I see, I may find it weird or strange or unusual. Some are obviously fake, but I need to know more. But we don't. So we got to take it for what it kind of is.
Yeah, we have to make our conclusions off the little bit we see.
Yeah. So hang on. because this Elmo video has been in 2.
I'm going to jump out and come back in while you're setting that up. Is that okay?
Go ahead, Dave. You do whatever. Okay. Yep. Do whatever you need to do. Okay. Did we get past this? Hang on, guys. Oh, no, it doesn't want to let me skip it. Hang on, guys. I'm working on it. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Good. Let's put the volume back on. There's about 20 million video things to push here. So let's see. Okay, we're good. Not all paranormal is negative, but if you're open to it, make sure you're protecting yourself. And that's Michelle Wilfong over on TikTok. She says, yes, and I'm still searching for answers. Yeah, most people I ask, that's what they say. Something has happened to them during their childhood. You're welcome, Kelly. That's part of the fun of this. Well, it's not fun that your daughter's going through this, but that you can ask other people while you're here too. This is what's happening. And I'd seen it. We were past your comment, and I thought, no, I want to bring this up for you because it's important. We went through this with our own kids in our previous home, but also remembering that not everything is parent. Oh, sorry, Dave. Hang on. Not everything is negative in the paranormal. So, okay, I think this is the one. Please be the one. Let me see it. Oh yeah, this is a balloon. Like, this is weird, you guys. I don't know what this thing is, why it's going on. It's a longer video, so we're going to have to stop it to stay with YouTube's guidelines in between for fair use, okay? But we'll start it right now. Hang on.
A woman named Ray says that her family has experienced many strange things since they moved into their new home. Ray says that the house's basement is creepy. She says that even on warm days, the temperature down there is always freezing, and she says that she feels like something is watching her when she's down there. Even weirder, the family often hears strange, unexplained sounds coming from the basement. But things in their house.
Okay, so just a comment there. Like, we're watching this, so we got to take this guy's word that he's knocking on the floor or whatever he is, and there's a knock coming from the basement. We don't know that. We don't know if there's somebody down there knocking, right? If we get really analytical. But
that's true. We don't know.
balloon-
I've heard that. I've been in the circumstance where we did something, somebody did something back, but exactly like you said, we don't know. But that's creepy, just like that, though.
Oh, just this balloon creeps me out. I'm sorry, but it does. Hang on. It's when it comes up the stairs from the basement. You'll see what I'm talking about. And it's a full, well, it's kind of creepy as it is. Never mind, you can see.
Get even weirder after Ray buys her son Andrew a creepy large Elmo balloon. You see, the balloon seems to move around the house with a mind of its own.
Like, at first I'm going, oh yeah, big deal balloon.
Babe, come here.
That's creepy, but you don't know if someone's pulling it, right?
Yeah.
Never mind, it's Elmo.
Inexplicably, the balloon often just seems to head directly toward their basement door.
Literally stopped at the basement door again.
Weirdly, Ray says that the balloon will only enter the basement door if her son follows after it.
If you hate constantly being swarmed by ads, you need to download Pi. It's a free
Sec, so I can unmute
I
it.
want some pie now. I got a sweet tooth. I swear to God, when she said that, I was like, I really want some pie now.
Go get some pie then.
No, I don't have any.
I guess the kid's name is Andrew.
So the obvious thought here is, well, it's just a balloon caught
Right.
in a draft and
That's
doing
what I
balloon
thought.
stuff. But things get even weirder because it seems the creepy Elmo balloon isn't content to only roam the downstairs. One night, the family dogs start going nuts and Ray goes to investigate. What she finds chills her to her core.
Gabe,
Hi, Julie.
Quiet. Quiet.
No, not. Why are you coming over? Because you hear the dogs barking, right? Well, I stopped it just for a second. I was going to say, okay, so watch this thing's feet as it goes up the stairs. And I'm quickly going to give Julie Jean Bassett a huge shout out. You guys, she's an incredible animal communicator, both earthside and mediumship. Also with people, she is a powerful healer. She's even been sending me some healing. It has helped. Julie, I pushed it too far yesterday, though. So today it's back again. Anyways, she's also a shamanic practitioner. I took my animal communication course with her. If you guys are having problems with your animals, check her out at juliejeanbassett.com, or you need some healing. Maybe you've had some really traumatic stuff, especially because what she helped me with the session 6 months ago, I'm telling you, it was life-changing, and I'll be due for another one. But anyways, back to this balloon, because that's what I kept thinking too, Dave. It's just a balloon. And I know Stone Hobbit said there was an indentation in the back of its head, like a hand was pushing it. It was what the heck is that? Is that aliens? Do you hear that?
no, it's my the train.
Oh, good. Okay. I was like, what the heck? See, not everything's paranormal.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, yeah. We're debunkers.
Okay, hang on. I know. Look at this thing's feet. That's what's bugging me. It's like, nobody pay attention and just come up the stairs.
So now the obvious question is, why doesn't she just pop the balloon, throw it in the trash, and be done? But Ray says that her son is very attached to the balloon and refuses to let them take it away. So the creepy Elmo balloon stays. But Ray will soon seriously regret this decision.
Ew. I'm going to pause it because it is a longer clip.
What did she scream at? I missed it.
Okay, it's hard to see, but what I said when I saw ooh, because I saw this on my phone before, and I don't think he saw it. I'm going to have to blow this up and take a good look at it. As that balloon's sliding, in the far back corner, there looks like there's something where, I'm getting goosebumps, wearing a cloak kind of hunched down. He doesn't mention it, and it's hard to see, but in that black space, and I think he blows it up a bit for you to see, you're going to see what's there. Okay, or he'll tell you. Okay, so, oh, thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. I'm going to just say hi to Howie Odell. Welcome, Howie. Howie has the Riff Nation Network. Big supporter of UPRN here. And he also has his own show called The Orion Effect that David and I have been on Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with his amazing co-host and good friend of mine, Rhonda Harris. So welcome. Stone Hobbit, I'm just going to say I've seen spirits using balloons, and that's what I meant about that indent in the back. And Howie says, this makes me chuckle. Airflow, but it's so cool. I don't know, Howie, did you see it right from the beginning? Because you're going to see what's at the other side of this now, and it's hard to see, you guys, but I saw something.
Is that a foil balloon?
It is, but when I back it up, I'll pause it just for a second. I'll tell you what I'm seeing, and I could be completely off, but just give me a second. I'll see if I can see it, and then we'll go to that part. Okay, hang on. Okay, keep going. Okay, I'll just play it and I'll try and pause it. Please don't give me a commercial. Okay, I'll tell you where I see it. That's not what he's going to talk about. Watch behind Elmo in the far back room on the right-hand side in the hallway. Here, do you see that thing? It's left top hand corner. That's what I was seeing. I don't know what, it's hard to see on this screen, right back here. It looks like something's hunched down here. He doesn't notice that. I noticed it first when I watched this on the phone, and I thought, well, maybe I'm seeing things, because you heard me go, ew. It doesn't disappear because the camera kind of pans back. It's still there. It could be furniture. I don't know. I'd need to see in a big camera, but that's what I thought they were talking about. They're not. This balloon's going to head over to the dark doorway, and then he'll point out what's going to happen. You'll see. It could be a coat. I don't know, because it's still there. Because I couldn't see what she was screaming at either. Really hard to see.
Did you see it? A strangely shaped forehead seems to be peeking around the top edge of the basement door. When slowed down, we can even see what looks like a bizarre set of dark eyes
He
and the
likes
bridge
it.
of a nose. So is Ray's house haunted by an entity that is manipulating this Elmo balloon? Or is it all just an elaborate
Yeah,
hoax?
if you guys see
You
this on a big
decide.
screen, it's creepy.
Well, now I see the guy's eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's creepy. Now again, we need more information. Okay,
Yeah, we don't know. That's why I was trying to look up one thing, a foil balloon. I was just looking up balloons. Do they say how many days, or they didn't say? I mean, I'm not trying to debunk it on purpose, but like to make a point of what Lorilei was saying, there's information we don't have. Hi, Howie.
Who's the
everybody.
parent? You know what? If my kid said I'm so attached to a balloon, I'd say, dude, the cat scratched it while you were asleep. It broke. It got thrown out. I'm sorry, but it would. Well, he doesn't want us to let go of it, so it's staying. No, be a parent and
get rid of it.
take the balloon away.
Now, this is what I want to know about the balloon, though. Now, if it was an 11-inch balloon, they usually last about 12 to 24 hours with helium in it. I wanted to know how many days this was over, because it looks like it was stayed pretty well together. And if you look up a foil balloon, the Mylar balloons, they do last 3 to 5 days. They really do. So, I mean, I don't know how much I was just looking at it just for, this is what we do. I mean, we can't take everything for face value, but I'm with Lorilei. If I saw the face like that, I didn't even see at first until I got closer. I'm like, oh, now I saw the eyes. It's like, yeah, that was creepy.
He lightened it up so you could see it, but there was something in the back. Now, I don't know if that's something or not. I don't, because he usually nukes pretty good. He'll pick up stuff other people don't pick up, but I don't know. And Julie says, where are the parents? Yes, be a parent. And you have to be a parent. Like, I'm sorry, I adore the ground my kids walk on, but the thing is, if there's weird crap going on in your house and they got this creepy balloon, get rid of it.
Now, the only thing that's one thing too. If I had a child and even if my child even my child followed it down, the same thing. It's like, no, if there was doing something creepy like that, I'd make sure it was gone out of my house. The other thing is too, I always look at this. I always look at their reactions. Who's filming it? Normal paranormal people who do the paranormal and do investigations, even the ones who have been doing it for a very long time, will get jolted. You know, even like what's those two brothers you like? They're so much fun to watch, that Paranormal Brothers. They go to houses for free and do the paranormal.
Whoa, on Friday nights, yes.
Yeah. Now those
Josh
guys
and Rocky and
they even been doing this for a long. Yeah, the Foreman brothers. That's it. They've been doing this for a long time, and even they get frightened at things.
Oh yeah.
And then I see people with a camera following a balloon around the house and seeing faces, and all they can do is go, no.
I think she's pretty terrified, but like Kelly says herself, she has a balloon from last year, Valentine's 2024, and still going strong.
Yeah. Well, you never know. It's an interesting video. I enjoy that video.
Howie, I don't know when you came in or what. They said they moved into a new house and there was some weird stuff going on before the balloon. So I don't know what part you came in. So Stone Hobbit said if there's a being there, it'll use other objects once a balloon is gone. Yeah, it will. Yeah,
that's true. And that's very, very true. If there's a being if there's a being and it's actually moving the balloon, you could pop the balloon. It's still going to do something.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, okay, and just from my own experience of living in an extremely haunted house, and I used to get very angry when people said this to me. Again, could tell where I was on my paranormal journey, but the more attention you pay to something, energy flows where attention goes. The more you focus on something, the more energy you're putting into it, that'll happen. Same thing with a haunting. If somebody's talking about a haunting, in the beginning, it usually starts out pretty slow or nothing going on. And then once it gets your attention, right, it's on the back, it's in the back of your mind. So like, so Howie says, yeah, gotcha. This is the one where Alma went up the stairs. Yeah, it was a pretty long video, Howie. And it had started with knocking, and we'd stopped the video because it looked like the dad maybe was knocking on a wall or a door or something, and very faintly on the other side, something was repeating it. And then they bought this kid the balloon. There was quite a bit. It kind of creeped me out the way it was coming up the stairs. And then we always have to keep in mind that there's AI, there's deep fakes. Plus, you don't know why the spirit is there. Maybe it really needs some help. Maybe it needs something, right? You don't know. Like, not everything's evil and negative. Like I've often said to people, and we've run into spirits, both of us, Dave, in our work, and other people doing mediumship who don't know they pass. They pass very quickly or very, very tragically. We've run into them.
Yeah, and some people, if you have a very strong sense of the physical, and it's like if you did, this is what I see. If you did pass, but you are very attached to the physical, or a lot of times people with really bad addictions, they stick around because they still try to get that feeling.
No, but you're going to miss my point. You're going to miss my point here. So say somebody steps off a curb, gets hit by a bus. They don't know they're gone. Okay, this is where I'm going with this. So you're going along thinking everything's hunky-dory. You don't even know what happened to you, but you're in spirit form, right? And so you can't understand why nobody's, like, maybe you're a friendly person. You're waving, you're saying hi, whatever. So you go back to your house, right? Think everything's fine. All of a sudden, these strangers move into your house. And you're like, get the heck out. Like, what are you doing? Why can't these people hear me? I can't use the phone. I can't, like, what's going on? And then they start renovating your house. What would you do if you could not communicate with these strangers in your house? You couldn't get any help. You couldn't do anything. What are you going to do? You're going to start doing other things to make your presence known. Now, I'm not saying that happens all the time with earthbound spirits, but what I'm saying is if that could potentially happen. So not everything's demonic, not everything's evil. Where I'm going with this is, and you're very right about what you just said, Dave. There are many reasons why somebody chooses to remain earthbound.
Or just gets quote unquote stuck.
Dogma, could be materialism, could be revenge. There's many different reasons, but not everything is demonic and evil. So it would be like having someone like myself or you, or I know Julie does this as well. So have somebody that can come in and be that bridge or communicator and find out what's going on. Like, why are you here? What do you need? Like, why are you scaring this family? Or time to adios, dude. Mm-hmm. If you're not meant to be there for any good reason, right?
Yeah, then go get out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
emotional attachments. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's so many things. It's really funny though. It's like you must have to have a super duper strong emotional attachment, because it's actually more rare than we think, but a lot of spirits, just when we go, we're like, oh, okay, we remember, you wake up. But some don't, for whatever reason. Who knows?
I know other people that work in this field have had the conversation, not on air but off air, but I've run into spirits that have not even known they've passed.
Yeah, they're not catching on to it. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it all depends on.
And I know that's a crazy example I give, but the point is, right? Just think of yourself. God forbid that happened to you and you didn't realize you passed. You go back to your house and there's no time on the other side. So literally you could feel like maybe you blinked your eyes and all of a sudden these strangers are in your house. Like, what are they doing here? This is my house. Like, get out, get out, get out. How many times do we pick up on EVPs? Get out. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're not stuck and they just like the house and they hate you.
Well, that's what I was just about to say, Dave. Not always they didn't pass, but they don't want anybody else living there either. So
yeah, it could be. They just like, get the hell out, you know.
You just read my
want to murder us. No, we don't want to murder you. We just want you the hell out of here.
We just want you out of here. We don't want you here.
Yeah. You're annoying me. You don't sing well.
Yes. No, and you're saying the same thing, Stone Hobbit. Won't be able to quite read that wording. I love it, and I use those words off air. Or some that just want to stay because they are not nice people, will say, and enjoy being stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true, because I've always said it. I've always argued with people. I said, there's no such thing as stuck. There are just some who just don't know. And it's not literally something's forcing them to be there. They just don't know. But I agree with you. I am sure there are many who goes, I just love doing this. I like being a little bee.
Or I know you've mentioned this before, Dave, and I agree with you that you go to a place and you're going to go to a haunted house or something, especially around Halloween. And I've met people like this say, I've never had anything happen with the paranormal. And they walk in there, right? But I want to get really scared. Ask and you shall receive. There's that hangout that will sure, you want to be scared?
Hey,
how about it? I'll help you.
Trust me. If I'm a spirit and I'm around here, trust me, I'll be the first one to go, oh, would you see a shovel fly across the room? Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm more than happy to make you believe. Yeah.
So we need always, when we show these clips, and we've said it many times and we'll continue to say it, we need a heck of a lot more context than what we're seeing. But if we take it for what it is, and we can't obviously debunk it, because you always got to keep in mind with technology, like there was one story out there, I think it started on TikTok. I know Nuke's Top 5 covered these videos many times. And it was with this guy that had a little niece named Amy, and all of a sudden he'd be filming, and there's one where she looks like she's asleep in front of some kind of low flung cabinet in front of looks like a living room, and these hands are out and they're playing with her hair, little kid hands, and they're laughing and giggling, and he looks and there's nothing in the cupboard. There's another time he's in Amy's bedroom and Amy's sitting on the bed kind of in a trance. She looks like she's about 7 years old, and it looks like there's a little girl with a blanket on her head. You can see the legs. He pulls the blanket off and there's nothing there. Now, maybe Stone Hobbit, you said you look for this. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I can't remember the name of the channel, but this looked real. Okay, it really, really did. It was kind of just before deep fakes and stuff came out. He actually came out, and this is his job for movies and stuff, to make it look real. He finally had to tell people this is fake, and I still see clips of his sometimes on video countdowns that people take as real paranormal. And
some of them are really, 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 really good. You know what I was going to tell anybody who watches paranormal clips, like, Lorilei goes through a lot of them. I encourage you, when you see something, go down the rabbit hole and see what you can come up with. I mean, it's like Lorilei always says, it's almost like that's how you find out the truth. Just keep putting the questions out there. Just keep asking it. Just keep looking for context. And you know what? When you keep doing that, it's going to be a lot easier for you at some point to spot things, and to know.
Oh, Michelle, I'm just seeing your comments here on TikTok. So she said the balloon creeped her out when she came up the stairs. She mentioned the Foreman brothers. Thank you. My memory still hasn't come back 100% yet. It's coming back, but it is. That's one of the things that happened when my son passed. I'm sorry. I have a wonderful memory, so it is what it is. And then she shared, my husband didn't survive his struggle, sadly, in 2009. He was only 44 years old, and I'm really sorry to hear that. And she said, I've been moving my husband's cremains with me since 2009. I'm releasing him to the ocean in June. That's really beautiful. And thank you for sharing that, Michelle. Really, really nice. If it's cremains, my tattoo has my son's cremains in them. And the more that I get done tomorrow, I still have a little bit with it. So he's with me always, I guess. He's right here beside me anyways, in his little...
Exactly. Howie says, but Dave, they must use knowledge and experience and science to gain a true explanation. That's very true. That's why I know some people get mad at me because I always do that, but I have to look at everything skeptical. I mean, I was skeptical about my own near-death experience until the things that started being shown to me over and over and over, like, okay. So yeah.
Will I not live through what I have lived through? I probably
would never,
a heck of a lot more skeptical. My partner Dell is still super, super, super skeptical.
You got a healthy dose of skepticism, Lorilei.
Well, you have to, but the point is, I always joke with him. Like if something happens to me once in a while, and I'll share it with him, he's well, maybe it was this, or it was this, or it was this, or it's like, dude, you don't think I didn't think of those things before? I
exactly, yeah.
So I always say to him, the paranormal never happens unless it happens to you.
Well, you know, it's kind of like, because I wrote an article on the subjective things. I mean, a lot of us on this earth, we go through subjective things, and we might not ever be able to prove it to somebody. But like you just said, sometimes the paranormal doesn't happen until it happens to you. And then you'll realize, okay,
well,
maybe
me being sarcastic, because when it happens to him, it's like, holy crap, you won't believe it happened. And if I
know, but that's a good saying that you said, though. It's there's a lot of people like that out there. It's like, there's nothing happening. Okay, well, you don't have to believe me. One day it might happen to you, and then you can come tell me about it.
Mm-hmm. So the next one, I think it's called WTF Just Happened. Hopefully he doesn't have a commercial coming up, but we will. These are short.
Just happened. Now, these next clips are videos that have no real explanation. They were either uploaded without a source or info, or the people in the video just can't explain what happened either. So, in this first video, a woman is riding her bike down a street in Brazil. And then, what the f just happened?
Mm-hmm. Now watch the bike. Keep watching.
Now, just a quick note for YouTube content guidelines here. This woman was not seriously hurt, and she actually falls off the bike right behind this post right there. And then the bike takes off for the moon, apparently. Now, this was sent in as a paranormal video, but I'm thinking the bike got hung up on a cable or something. But no idea why it flies 50 feet in the air. So you tell me.
I almost wonder if it was from a movie. What do you think?
Do you know what, Lorilei? Look at it again and tell me if you agree with me. Okay, I'm not saying that the bike wasn't pulled. That part looks really good. It's after it goes on the other side of the pole and goes up in the air. That's where it's no longer seems like it's real.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, me too. I'll play it back. Hang on.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then
just that part.
What?
You can see the cut in the film.
Just happened. Now, just a quick note for YouTube content guidelines here. This woman was not seriously hurt, and she actually falls off the bike right behind this post right there. And then the bike takes off for the moon, apparently. Now, this was sent in as a paranormal video, but I'm thinking the bike got hung up on a cable or something. But no idea why it flies 50 feet in the air. So you tell me.
Okay, what were you going to say, Dave?
She would have slid past that pole. She had too much momentum going to stop at the pole. That's what I mean. I'm not saying that she wasn't pulled back. That part I think is real, whatever that is. I don't know if it's paranormal or not.
Up in the corner. Okay, you can't see it on here, but it says.
I can blow up my screen, but yeah.
It says Intebras, Intebras. I'm almost wondering, like, I want to look that up. I'm hearing from Spirit. Go look at it. Stone Hobbit thinks I got AI, says there's hanging shadow. Hi, Sandra Kramer. Welcome.
Also, the second car that comes through, you can't see his headlights like the first car. It's on everything. It's where if you're looking at the pole right here, everything is fake on the left side of the pole, but everything on the right side of the pole is real. So
plus, how does it who in their right mind is going to put, if this is a security camera or whatever, right in front of a telephone pole?
Yeah. So this is what they say, you guys. That's why we look into all that stuff. But but it's a fun video. When it first happened, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I noticed the two sides.
You know what I like? What Nuke's Top 5 has been doing with his last couple of videos. Because it's never 5 videos anymore. It's always 10. Number 1 video, he's been putting funny stuff that looks like it's scary, but it's not. Which I think is, and I'll laugh. Mm-hmm. Howie says, bingo, Lorilei. Yes, exactly. Who puts a camera right there? Like you can't see what's going on. And the thing is, obviously, that's where the camera is. So why would you have one unless there's a person standing there? But you think the person would run over and say, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Or they'd take off because they were terrified. They wouldn't just be sitting there stationary.
Filming. It's there's too much wrong with that video. So let's just all call this one BS.
Yeah. And Michelle says, oh, and then she added about releasing her hubby's ashes. She says, it's a way for me and my son to heal and move on. I love that, Michelle.
Oh, yeah, I agree. That's a beautiful way.
And she says, how did that bike fly so far? That's what we're saying. Like, but that's why it's good to look at videos like this. And it's like, we don't always just show spooky stuff. And that's why you have a conversation about it. The other thing I forgot to remind you guys, station ID, if you're just tuning in, it's a thing at the foot of the bed with myself, Lorilei Potvin, and my good friend and fellow medium, David Hanzel. And yeah, you can listen to us on 105.3 FM in Mississippi and 107.7 FM out of New Orleans. And you guys stay tuned because it's the second night of the Outer Realm with the amazing Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano coming up next around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so in about a half hour. Okay, so let's see what the next one is. These ones are short ones.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's do real or BS.
Now, this next clip comes from the podcast Grown Up Kids, hosted by brother and sister Seth and Jesse.
This is another sus video, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to say.
No.
Seen some of their stuff.
You'll see why, but I think it's a little sus. In the fact that before, I'll preface it with this brother and sister, I think, are freaked out. But am I going to call this? Well, I won't say anything. You guys tell me what you think. Hang on.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Seth.
And we're siblings.
We are.
And we have a podcast.
It's not a paranormal podcast, and they've never posted or even mentioned anything supernatural. But then one day, while recording, this.
I am stupid good at the game. What was that?
I don't know, but it scared me.
Yeah. Wait, I'm being so serious.
I don't know, but I'm scared. That sounded like a
You guys
dinosaur.
don't get up to find out what it is? This be fun if you're listening to it, not watching.
What do we do?
Carry on.
I don't even.
What the frick was that?
I can't even begin to imagine what.
Like the pipes or something?
Okay, so it either sounded like.
I thought someone was playing music. Thank God you were here, because
No.
if that happened while I was home alone, I would have literally pooped my pants.
As you can tell from their reaction, Jesse and Seth have no clue what they just heard, but it totally freaks them out. To this day, they say they have no idea what this sound was. And Jesse says that she has never heard this sound in her home before this incident or since. So you tell me what you think this sound is.
I am stupid good at the game. What was that?
This next video from Brazil was uploaded.
Yeah, so to me, like, can you imagine if you were listening to that podcast, you didn't see the video, and they're just sitting there dumbstruck, like there's complete air silence. Plus, to me, I don't call that paranormal. Do you?
Yeah, no, I noticed something. I did some a while back when I first moved here. I did some TV stuff here, and there's some stuff where I taught that I'd learned from. They were very clear about trying not to make it look like they were looking at the camera. So it was in their eyes. I didn't buy it right there. The way they were looking, there's a certain thing. They were trying not to be aware of the camera, but they were very aware of the camera. And
it just seems weird, though. They don't do this kind of stuff. No, but they don't do this kind of stuff. But to me, why release it?
Because they just wanted some more viewers, or they didn't have enough viewers, and people will do that. I mean, they'll just make up something just to get some extra viewers on there. I'm not saying that there wasn't something heard in the background, but it obviously didn't.
Like Stone Hobbit said, watching her face, there was concern, but then I think they worked it out. He thinks they're wasted. I don't think they're wasted, but they do have a channel. Like, I do trust with the fact they didn't have paranormal. Be interesting to see when they release this video, if it was around Halloween. maybe. And then Stone Hobbit said maybe pipes. Like they even said it. I just found it weird.
Yeah, to me it sounded like I've heard that sound a million times in like horror records, you know, where you want to listen to
it would have drove me nuts if they said, yeah, we got a new book review for you. It's called Rusty Bed Springs by IP Knightley or something.
Yeah, or something weird. Yeah, I don't buy that one. It's fun. I mean, it's cute. That's how I look at it.
They're not all like this. So I think this one was a little creepy if I remember. After the next video, they'll go down to one video, but it's good to sometimes have these kind of weird videos to show you. And I'm kind of glad he does this because not everything's paranormal.
Without a description, and the uploader didn't respond to any of the thousands of comments and questions. Now, I have many questions of my own, but we'll get to that after the video.
I will post this one in the group because they see something in the pool. And there's a girl in a ring. They don't even speak English. And it's floating in the water. And then I don't know what the heck they pulled out of the water. I can't see what this thing is. They pull something out. I wasn't sure if it was a snake. Then there's something down below. And then the dad comes over and pulls that out too. But you don't get to really, it was like a blob of something. Plus, didn't you see this before she went in the pool? Like it was dumb. Hi, Kasoon. He goes, I overslept today. No,
okay.
He says, coming after making coffee. We appreciate you being here because it's the middle of the night over there in Sri Lanka. So no worries. So we'll just move past it because it's dumb. I forgot. I was thinking this was a good one, but hang on. Okay. Like it's some stupid. Okay. This cat one is weird. Okay. Let me get to it. Okay.
Oh my goodness. This game is so exciting.
Are those real dragons? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You do this to me every time. There's a stupid commercial. There we go. Skip. It's a game.
I know.
So in the upstairs of my house, there's 2 rooms. Both of the doors open and close all the time by itself.
So one day Maggie is casually filming a cute video of her cat, Onyx, when suddenly something happens that is truly bizarre. Now, at first, Maggie doesn't even notice anything odd and even laughs at what she thinks is just the cat being weird, or, well, just being a cat. But when she watches the video back, she notices that the cat's tail seems to be yanked by some invisible force. The video went viral, and no one can really explain just what happened to the cat. But what do you think? If you see something that you think would be perfect
what did you think of that? Like that looks like something happened to that poor kitty.
I watched it the second time. I'm not saying it's not fake, and I get the whole door opening stuff. I will never say anything about that because I grew up with that, so I know that actually happens. Now, the one thing I know that it did look like the cat was pulled in a way, but the whole thing was, I was trying to see where it could have pulled from because the cat's tail wasn't straight out. You know, like if somebody were to pull it, it would be straight out. And this one looked like his whole. I don't think it was pulled by the tail. I think it was actually pushed.
Something happened to it, but I was surprised. But I don't know what the cat is like because most cats, if that happens to, cats get pretty PO'd.
Yeah, it's hard to say. The whole thing is it was hard. I had to look at it twice because I have a little cat. Her name is Willow, and she doesn't have a tail, and she gets these phantom. Because she doesn't have a tail, she has some nerve problems in her back end, and every once in a while she gets like a phantom pain or something, and she turns and licks just like that cat was, except the cat did look like it was being pushed or pulled for some reason.
Okay, so Stone Hobbit, you said it looks good, but why is she focused on the cat? I think she's a social media influencer, and if you listen to the video, she was filming her cat that day. I almost want to say it's live that she was doing this, like she's like a TikToker or something. So I could be wrong, but that's why she was focused on the cat. She was just filming him for her viewers. It sounds like that's why
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I couldn't tell you one way or the other, but it was. Whenever I see videos like this, the first thing that comes to mind is, I hope to God it's a ghost that's doing that, because if you're setting up strings and pulling an animal, I will find where you live.
I knew you were going to say that, and I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
This is kind of a weird video, if I remember. It's longer, but there was another one. Well, let's see. You know what I might do, guys? I might pull another video up, because it was interesting what happened in this. Let me just see. It was for a surgeon was filming. It was in a hospital. I left myself notes on it, so hang on.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Second video, Bizarre Bob. Let's see. Yeah, number 4. Oh yeah, knives thrown at this guy. Yeah, we're gonna watch this one.
Yay, knives being thrown. Yay. I love not really. When I went investigating, my favorite things to investigate were old hospitals and old, like really old ones, or old psych wards and stuff. Just because of the just because of the energy that's in them.
Oh God, Dave. Oh, I can tell you, I used to work a lot of nights. Yeah, do a Zoom. We'll put the video. I forgot last week the videos, but I'll try to remember to put them in this week. But I'll put that one in there for sure. This is from Bizarre Bob. These guys sometimes overlap, so I got to, because he covered the balloon video also. Believe it or not, I'm gonna try and I think it's number 4. Hang on.
I did see that one video, and I didn't know where I saw it from, but it's a lot of people I think covered the balloon one.
He covered this one. Nuke's Top 5 did, and he went a little further with it, because I didn't hear about the recording from this. This is a little kid's house. Is this at number 4? Let me see if it's number 4. Number 4. This was pretty long, the first video, so I'm trying to get to know. Okay, is this it? I'm trying to see. Let me see if I go a little further. Yeah, this is the knife one. Okay, hang on.
Now, the following video was submitted to me by Connor M., who was home alone when this happened. The house that Connor lives in is on a street where people's homes often get burglarized, but despite living in a dangerous neighborhood, nothing could have prepared him for what occurred in his house. Connor briefly describes the events of that night. In his own words, "I was alone. My daughter stayed over at my ex-wife's house, and my dog was outside. I'm still shaken up by this. It's late at night when Connor hears shuffling in the kitchen. This is his footage. Watch."
If anybody's here, I'm calling the cops.
Okay, this is the surgeon one straight after. It's like, does not anybody turn the lights on?
That's what I was thinking. The scariest thing about it is the way he keeps his house.
Well, just wait. He hasn't got anything scary happen yet.
No!
No, I say no to.
No!
Somehow, a knife launches off and flies straight towards Connor. Thankfully missing him, the sharp blade lays close to his feet. But had he stood any closer, this video would have had a rather unfortunate outcome. From fearing that someone broke into his house to encountering this, Connor was immensely terrified. As he states, when it comes to things that can't be seen, there's no telling when the knife in your kitchen might fling itself at you with no apparent cause. Now that's creepy.
I know.
Well,
He could have fishing line, he could have whatever, but I think like Stone Hobbit said, I like that one. Yeah, I do too, because I think his reaction was real.
his reactions were, those are normal reactions to something scary. So I have to say that reactions are good. The whole thing, though, I think they might have made it now. Right away, they showed a picture of a knife stuck in the wood. The knife was never stuck in the wood. The knife came with the handle was coming towards him. So, of course, they're going to probably try to make it more evil than it is. I mean, it could just be, what if a ghost just said, that's the only thing light enough I can pick up to throw, so you know I'm here. Or maybe like,
I'd be moving my knives.
Yeah, I would too. And like I said, the scariest thing about this video was how he kept his house, dude, clean.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Now we got a bunch of stuff and we're not going to have enough time for the surgeon video. So we'll leave it for next week. Because soon, you're right. The ghost did have nice aim. But okay, about the house, I was going to comment on that. And I'm not a clean freak. I'd love to be, but my back does not allow it as I've gotten older. But the thing people need to understand with everything is energy, right? And when you've got piles of stuff everywhere and it's stagnant and it's sitting there, you can have kind of stagnant energy. So sometimes it's good to give your house a good cleaning and a good shake up, and you can clap your hands, chimes, whatever. But this is why I'm not showing the surgeon video. We got a few minutes, not long, guys, but hang on. Sandra says, since we're discussing spooky stuff, please tell us how you heard them, by the way. She says, I was taking a walk through the woods yesterday and I heard the trees screeching. I've never heard them screech like that. Any ideas? You got to tell us more. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need more behind that one, what a screeching is and what she's saying, because I know, I'm going to tell you, and this is just happened, so I'm glad you put that in there. I recorded a video for TikTok and I did it down at the mountains down by my house. I walked in the trail and I went to a little further trail, and it's fall, so there's no leaves on everything. When I set up my camera to do it, I really noticed and started to hear. I didn't realize when the wind's going through the trees, all the different sounds I was hearing. So it wasn't paranormal. It was just sounds I never heard trees do. So, and for me, it was nothing. So you got to ask yourself, what did you feel at the time? I mean, were you thinking about someone?
Well, I'd like to know how you heard them and you were able to ascertain that it was the trees. I believe you. But did you hear it in mind's eye? Did you hear it physically? I love what Dave said. How did it make you feel when you heard it? She said, I've heard them sing, but never screech. I hear you, but how did you hear them? Did you hear it physically? Did you hear it within the mind's, the mind's eye?
Was it subjective? Was it subjective or objective?
Mm-hmm.
So subjective being, did you, like Lorilei said, did you hear it within the mind's eye? Because a lot of clairaudience is actually heard subjectively. I mean, you do hear objective clairaudience, but a lot of it's heard subjectively. So yeah, just give us the more context on that and we can probably give you our expertise.
Yeah. Well, plus the other thing is, what was going on? What was the weather like? What kind of wildlife do you have around there? Including, I'm almost feeling like, was there something going on energetically where you live? Like, was there maybe a big, I hope not, but maybe a big accident or a lot of accidents, or it's hard to say, right? Like, is there something going on with the land? Like, there's many different reasons. I talked to the trees. I heard it in the mind's eye. Yes. So to me, the best answer that you will get for this, Sandra, is if you're comfortable to go back and ask the trees, why are you screeching? Because if you can hear them, you should be able to possibly hear from them.
Yeah, they would know. Any of us would just be making something up. If we just said it. I did notice that when we start, the more I learned from this show, even when earlier on we were doing some stuff about things in the woods that are happening. And it wasn't until I got really interested in that and started looking up different sounds of animals in the woods. And I was like, holy cow, I did not know that rabbits can make this screech, or that deer actually sound like somebody's screaming, or like wildcats and all that. And when I started looking up actual animal sounds in the woods, now when I watch scary videos, where especially you'll hear mine and Laura Lee's pet peeve is skinwalkers. And I would hear somebody make a Skinwalker video. Oh, this is Skinwalker sound in the woods. And I'm like, no, I remember that one because I listened to all these animals screech and they make that same exact sound.
You know who says that a lot is my partner, Del, and he's right because the things like his family has a cottage on the lake, and when we were just friends hanging out there. I was still married to my first husband at that time, and we were out there with the boys, and he dared me that I wouldn't be able to stay out all night long on the deck in a hammock, and I did. And the things you hear that you never think you're going to hear, never mind, I didn't know this till I met him either. And he was right because it was super hot that day and I had on shorts and a bikini and all I had was a sleeping bag. I was freezing because he said this and it's true. The temperature actually almost drops depending on where you are, 10 degrees before the sun comes up. It indeed does, especially in the summertime. But the noises you hear in the woods are absolutely mind-blowing. Well, Sandra, if you're comfortable, we'd love to hear if you're able to pop in or into the group. Let us know what the trees let you know, because I think because you heard it yourself and you said, I'm sorry about the loss of your brother. You said you're thinking about your brother who passed away, that ask them. Just ask them. Say, I was hearing this, feeling this, picking this up from you. I've never heard you make that sound before. You know, could you let me know why? Could be maybe they're picking up on your emotion and letting you know.
Right? And if you want to go even deeper, ask yourself, is it a symbol? Because it could be a symbol for you, that screech noise. Because I always tell people, when you read writing on a piece of paper, when you read words on a piece of paper, the information isn't in the words. They're just words on the paper. But when you read them, you get the information. So it's coming in that way. So maybe it's a symbol, like I heard screeching, thinking of him because of maybe it was showing me this or that, you know. There's a billion questions to ask yourself, but yeah, feel free to come in the group and put some
share
stuff out.
that.
Yeah.
So you guys, we are out of time. Fastest 2 hours of my week. I'm Mondays and Thursdays. But Dave, if you before you guys head out or you leave, though, please stay tuned because the second night of the Outer Realm with our station manager and the amazing Michelle DeRoche. She's been on Canada's Most Haunted. She's been on Paranormal Survivor. She's been on so many different shows, and she's such a sweetheart. And her co-host Amelia Pisano. It's the second night of the Outer Realm coming up next. Go ahead, Dave. Let them know where they can find you.
Yes, if you'd like to know more about me, book a reading, or any of those things, you can only do that by going to my website, theywhispertome.com. Also, if you're in any one of my social media, like Instagram or TikTok, you can find me at Medium David Hanzel. I also have Linktree in there, so it's a little cheaper. You can follow me on my my YouTube, which is The Spirit Experience, or I actually have a paranormal group. Well, not really a paranormal group, kind of a spiritual group, also called The Spirit Experience. Know that I never, ever, ever, ever will private message you. I have a lot of people who follow me. Neither will Lorilei. I have a lot of people who impersonate me and follow you and want you to go to WhatsApp. So thank you guys so much for listening to us. And I'm going to give you over to Lorilei.
And don't forget Dave's Substack. Is it under your name, Dave?
Oh yes, please. Substack. Please go to my Substack. I'm getting a lot of followers all of a sudden.
What is it under, Dave?
It's Substack. It's just under David Hanzel. Okay, I do. You can find me under literature and philosophy if you're looking, and I write a lot of metaphysical things.
Okay. Sandra's going to ask the trees tomorrow. Kassoon says, ladies, guys, we're glad you got up and joined us. Thank you.
Kassoon. Enjoy your coffee.
Yes. So you guys, if you ever want to get a hold of me, I do readings, psychic and mediumship. I also do energy healing. I do teaching and mentoring. You can get a hold of me on facebook.com/the Angel Rock for the moment. Leanne Clark, one of my very, very close friends. She is under the Crystal Architect, or Architect the Crystal, I think on Instagram. I call her the Crystal Wizardress. She's a channel. She does Akashic Records. She's really intuitive as well. Her and our fellow cohort, Debbie A. Anderson, are actually going to be, you guys love when they come on. I believe they're coming on at the beginning of June. So it's going to be lots of fun. Leanne and I are working on our course. We were hoping for May, it was supposed to be March, but unfortunately my son passed away. It looks like it may be closer to the end of June, beginning of July, but we will have it out there. When I do, I will have a domain name for a website, but right now that's the fastest way, facebook.com/the Angel Rock, or just reach out to me on any social media platform. Messenger is the fastest, but any platform I'm on there, believe me. You think of it, I probably got a profile on there. Anyways, it's either under the Angel Rock or Lorilei Potvin. I have 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, the Angel Rocker Tribe for more things spiritual. Don't forget our group, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, with Lorilei Potvin and David Hanzel on Facebook. We put show ideas, share some of the questions like you did, and many, many other things. Also, don't forget the Angel Rock. I do a live show here on UPRN on Mondays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have our own, you weren't here when I mentioned you earlier, Julie Jean Bassett's coming on. So bring your animal questions, animal communication questions, anything. We always have a great conversation. So we love you. Stay spooky. And are you ready, Dave?
I am. Let's try it again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What's at the foot of your bed?
We might have done it this time. I think
we might have. Yeah, we might have done it.
We might have. You guys, I'll have to let us know in the group, maybe. All right, you guys, we love you. We'll see you same time, same space. Stay up for tuned for Michelle and Amelia coming up next.